How many minutes are there in 1 hour? We know it is 60. How many hours are there in 1 day? We know it is 24. So these quantities are fixed, or we can say that these are constant. So over here, minutes in an hour is a constant. Hours in 1 day, it is a constant because they have fixed values, values which do not change. Now if I ask you, how many days are there in 1 month? Well, you may say 30 for some months, 31 for some months, 28 for some month. So this value is not fixed. It varies. Hence, it is a variable. So days in a month is a variable because it depends on which month we are talking about. So the values which are not fixed and which change and depend on something are called variable. Now if I tell you that month under consideration is July, and my question remains the same. How many days are there in 1 month? Then it will be 31. Over here, this becomes a constant and days in 1 month becomes a constant because we are talking about a specific month, July. So the same quantity, which is days in a month, it was variable in the earlier case, whereas it is a constant in this case. So the same thing can be a variable or a constant in different situations. Say you go to an amusement park, and in this amusement park, you have an entry fee of rupees 50. Now once you enter the park, there is a rides fee which depends on the number of rides you take. So apart from the entry fee, you have to pay the rides fee. So the total amount you spend on your visit to the amusement park is entry fee plus rides fee. So that becomes rupees 50 plus rides fee. Now this entry fee here, it is fixed. As soon as you enter the park, you have to pay this fixed amount. So it is a constant. Whereas this rides fee, it varies because it depends on the number of rides you take. So if you take more rides, it will be higher. If you take lesser number of rides, it will be lower. So it is a variable. So we can, instead of writing rides fee again and again, we can represent it by a symbol. So we can write 50 plus, we can take any alphabet. Say we can take R, we can take X, Y, Z, anything. We can write a 50 plus a smiley. So we can write any symbol. Normally we use letters. So we write total amount spent is 50 plus R, where R is a symbol for rides fee, which is a variable. So R is a symbol for rides fee. And rides fee, we need to represent it by a symbol because we do not know its value. Its value is not fixed. For your friend, it might be rupees 30. For you, it might be rupees 40. So, depending on person to person, it may vary. Depending on the number of rides you may take, it may vary. So, we represent it by a symbol R. So, here we have added a constant and a variable. So, we can add a constant to a variable. So, here it is R added to 50. A variable added to a constant. We can write it as 50 plus R. We can write it in both of these ways. But normally, we write it like this, 50 plus r. Another important thing to note over here is 50 plus r is the same as r plus 50, because this is addition. So whether you add 50 to r or you add r to 50, it remains the same. You visit the amusement park. After you have entered the amusement park, you have rupees 200 left with you in your pocket. Again, as before, there is a rides fee depending upon the number of rides. So if I ask you, how much amount will be left with you after you exit the park? It will be rupees 200 minus the amount you spend on rides. So 200 minus rides fee. Again, the rides fee here, it is not constant. It is variable. Because it depends on the number of rides you take. Whereas 200 is a constant. It is the fixed amount which you have with you once you enter the park. So it is 200 minus rides fee. We can again represent rides fee by a variable, and we represent it by r and write 200 minus r. So total amount left is 200 minus r. Here we have subtracted a variable from a constant. So a constant minus a variable. We can write it as 200 minus r, or using symbols 200 minus r. This is most commonly used, 200 minus r. Now, is this the same as r minus 200? No, this is not the same, because here we are subtracting r from 200, and here we are subtracting 200 from r. Say for example, you spend rupees 40 on rides. So in this case, the amount left with you will be 200 minus 40, which is equal to 160. Over here, it will be 40 minus 200, which is equal to minus 160. This is not equal to this. So these two quantities are not equal. So let us solve a question. The height of a baby is constant over time. Is it true or false? Well, the height of a baby over time, we know that as the baby grows and develops over time, his height increases. So it is not constant, but it varies with time. And hence, this statement is false. So variable is made of vary and able. Vary means change. And able means can. So variable is something which can change, or which is able to change or vary. So variable is a symbol for an unknown quantity. It is a value that varies, or it is a symbol which can be given different values. So this is variable. And what is a constant? A constant is a symbol that has a fixed value. Yes, constants could also be represented by symbols. For example, speed of light is represented by a symbol c, but it has a fixed value, which is 3 followed by 8 zeros. Meters per second. So this is the speed of light. So instead of writing such huge number, we represent it by a symbol C. But this is a constant. Or a constant could be any number like -8, √5, any number is a constant.